out here, and it's like crabs in a bucket. Everyone wants to drag you down. Second story of the day is about a really ridiculous story on the same page of what I was talking about in the last video of the UK. So I was reading a Metro article. I did a lot, but officers installed a knife surrender bin in one of the parts of the UK following a 52% spike of knife crime in the area the past year. So once again, liberals and progressives, they mean well, you know, they try, but the psychology and philosophy behind what they're doing is always the opposite of what to solve it. So everything liberals and progressives touch, they make worse, and they can't figure out why. Let's start with this article. So knife crime is surging. Why is knife crime surging in the UK? No one wants to say it. I'll say it. Knife crime is surging in the UK for multiple reasons. One, there's no guns, so people can't protect themselves. You can rob a jewelry store with a machete. When you try to rob a jewelry store, say in Beverly Hills, there's a security guard with a gun there. So you're either going to die or you're going to go to jail forever if you do something bad and they'll find you. You have consequences. There's a guy with a gun at a jewelry store. When you go to a jewelry store in the UK, they don't have a gun, so you could rob them with a machete because you know that it's the same reason that a lot of shootings and school shootings happen in gun-free zones. They do it because they know that there's no one there with a gun. It's very simple. So that's why knife crime's surging, and also because of their immigration policies. They hate on their own people. I mean, statistically, if you compare the UK pre-crazy wave of refugee immigration, the UK and the people there commit way less crime than, say, choose one of these African countries or Middle Eastern countries that they're bringing in people by the millions. Statistically, there's less knife crime there in some of those countries. And also, you got to figure out who you're bringing in. Are you bringing in people that are going to work and do well? There's many Africans and Middle Eastern who do a great job. But liberals and progressives don't want to bring those people in. They do a lottery-based system, so the pharmacists and top people who are good people can't get into the country and people's family members. And then they just roll the dice and pick anybody, and then they let in millions of people who aren't even really from Syria and, sorry, someone called me, then they're not really coming from the countries they are. Of course, crime is going to, rise. So it's multiple reasons. They're disarming their people, and they're bringing in waves of immigration without properly identifying who's who and having you have Democratic politicians in the United States saying that they don't want illegal immigration to be illegal anymore. They want to make it so millions of people can just come whenever. Like, of course, crime's going to go up. But also, they're putting knife amnesty bins. Like that's going to help. They're saying, criminals, drop your knives off. That's going to stop knife crime. If we just put up these bins and, there's going to be... So now what's happening is good people with good hearts and good souls are dropping off all their knives in the amnesty give-back bins, and criminals who don't give a crap about laws go to the amnesty bins, rob them, and now they have 50 knives that they can stab people with. It's so obvious what's going on. What do you think's gonna? You think criminals are gonna stop getting illegal guns if you make it illegal? You think if you took every gun out of the United States, which is impossible. So if you make guns harder to get, criminals are still gonna have an easy time getting them. If you somehow confiscate all the guns from the United States, which is not possible, now you're gonna have those same bad people who are just gonna take advantage of unarmed people and stab them now or hit them with a car. It's not, if you're bad, you're bad. So once again, I don't mean to blame because conservatives have a lot to learn too, but liberal and progressive ideology is... Sorry, someone keeps texting and calling me. This is why I don't give out my number that much. People call me and just can't figure out I'm streaming. But they penalize good people. They penalize large groups for what a small group of people do. They only penalize whole groups of people when it goes to their political agenda. When it goes against their political agenda, they protect that group and they blame people who talk about that group. They take away and try to confiscate weapons and can't figure out why crime, rape, and acid attacks are going up, while they simultaneously don't care about the content of people's character, solely care about the race of people, only hate their own race, only play the victim card for other races, don't want to get good Nigerians and good Libyans and good Syrians. They just roll the dice with the lottery system and say everybody's a refugee even when 20 to 30% of them aren't, and suffer the consequences and act like a buyback bin or a give back bin is going to solve their knife crime problems. And then, like Metro UK said, their knife bin got robbed by criminals who now have 50 more knives to stab people with. I mean, it's just a huge metaphor, simile / example of what leftist policies lead to. It's so goofy. It's laughable if it wasn't hurting so many people. Third story I want to talk about today. Someone said, turn your cell on total silence before streaming. Yeah, I'll figure it out, but don't worry about it. I